Is the stable coin a competitor to Bitcoin? Is that what the United States is trying to do, to undermine or even dethrone Bitcoin? Because the perception about Bitcoin is that it is a money laundering tool because of all the baggage that it has come up with so far. So is that true? Or is Bitcoin an asset that would be treated just like you have an asset like a gold or silver coin? All these things and more, as far as the United States is concerned, how it's viewing Bitcoin. Is it going to allow the stable coins that it has now approved using the Genius Act to coexist with Bitcoin, or is it going to be something else? For example, the United States has clearly come out and said that it is not in favor of central banking digital currency. Why he has said that, why the United States has said that, is because if Europe and UK, who are all weighing in a centralized bank digital currency, that would go directly against Bitcoin. And if that is the case, then clearly Bitcoin would be banned in all those countries which are going to adopt a CBDC as their main currency. Essentially, they would withdraw all the notes from circulation and everything would be bank-based on your phone, and also some capital restrictions might come in. So you have all these other possibilities that might happen. Is that what is going to happen? All this and more in this quick monologue where we are going to compare stable coins against Bitcoin, and are they competitors or not, and if they are not, then what are they, and what is the plan that the United States has for the Bitcoin. So a request as always to please like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel. Here we go.
Biggest gift I think that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has given me is a feeling of peace.
Therapists and doctors are doing a wonderful job here.
Are stable coins the US answer to Bitcoin? No. US policy treats them as fundamentally different assets with distinct purposes. This is not a competition, but a two-track approach to digital finance. What are these two tracks? We're going to take a look at that real quickly here. There are two worlds of digital assets. Before diving into policy, it is crucial to understand the core differences between stable coins and Bitcoin. They are designed to solve different problems. And here is how they are different. Stable coins, the primary goal is price stability. It is pegged 1:1 to the United States dollar, and it is just like the United States dollar. I'll come to where the advantage of stablecoin is in just a moment. Its core purpose, a reliable medium of exchange for payments, remittances, and bridging traditional and digital finance. Key characteristics are centralized issuance and asset backing create a stable, predictable value. What are the assets backing Bitcoin? Nothing. What about stablecoin? Everything. Every stablecoin has assets behind it. It could be short-term US Treasury bill, it could be other things like gold and so on and so forth. I'm going to come into that in just a moment. So essentially, the one thing that Bitcoin lacks, which is some asset behind it, is being covered by stablecoin. And the other important thing is, let's say if stablecoin goes mainstream, then presumably I can pay any vendor using stablecoin and not use SWIFT, which is a $25 to $40 per transaction overhead. It takes 3 to 5 business days. All that goes away. In a click of a finger, I can transfer the money if both of us have a stable coin. So that is the big plus of stablecoin. Whereas Bitcoin, the primary goal is a decentralized store of value, often called digital gold. Remember, I told you there are only 21 million coins and about 19.8 have already been mined. So there is always that feeling that not much is left, and therefore that keeps bumping up the value of Bitcoin. The core purpose is an alternative asset free from government or central bank control. Nobody can control the Bitcoin. It's a democratic currency. The only thing is that the party and the counterparty need to understand that, okay, we will accept this thing, and they have to have a way to take the received Bitcoin and monetize it. And how they are going to do that? There are many vendors who accept Bitcoins and give you the cash based on some market conditions. The other one is the key feature about Bitcoin is the decentralization, and a fixed supply lead to high price volatility. That's why you see Bitcoin go up and down. Now let's take a look at the Genius Act. The United States is not trying to replace Bitcoin. It's focused on making stable coins safe for the payment system. How is it doing that? By enacting a law called Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for US Stablecoins Act, creating a formal regulatory framework. Today we have Tether. Tomorrow you might have JP Morgan. You might have Wells Fargo. So this is where the advantage comes. If Wells Fargo has sister banks across the world, presumably they all will start supporting stablecoin. So instead of using the SWIFT gateway, you could use the stablecoin gateway. For Wells Fargo, they get to advertise that, look, we are a stablecoin vendor and our coin is doing well. The more coins that get distributed across the world for Wells Fargo, the more the name that spreads their name far and wide. Now, what are the main things that Genius Act requires for the stablecoins to do? It has to have 1:1 liquid reserves. Issuers such as JP Morgan or Tether or Wells Fargo must back every digital dollar with a real dollar in cash or short-term treasuries. Bank-like oversight, that means the compliance with anti-money laundering, AML, and counter-financing of terrorism, CFT, laws is mandatory. So it's going to be treated just like any other currency like the United States dollar. Consumer protection. Safeguards are in place to protect the consumer and ensure the stability of the financial system. In other words, you can think of it like if you have a stablecoin bank account, it would also be insured just like the FDIC insures every individual bank account to the tune of $250,000. I don't know what the limit is going to be for stablecoins, but something will evolve over time. Now, what is the US stance on Bitcoin? The government treats Bitcoin not as a currency, but as a new type of asset. It's either a commodity or property. Bitcoin is regulated as a commodity. Sales and exchanges are subject to capital gains taxes and know your client /AML rules similar to stocks or gold. The establishment of strategic Bitcoin reserve signals official recognition of Bitcoin as a significant global asset class worthy of national consideration. Now, what is the real sovereign answer? If the United States wanted to compete with Bitcoin, it would have created its own version of a CBDC, central bank digital currency, which it has chosen not to do, which means that United States would like to have the Bitcoin stay as it is. So this is going to be sort of like complementing technologies, stablecoins and Bitcoin. And the conclusion is there are two strategies here. The US approach is not about choosing a winner between stablecoins and Bitcoin. It's about developing parallel strategies for two different financial tools. Strategy 1, regulate payments. Being privately issued, dollar-backed stablecoins into a regulated framework to modernize payments and uphold the dollar's global status safely. The other thing that stablecoins can be used to do is, since the United States government accepts US treasuries as assets for stablecoins, it could encourage companies like Wells Fargo or JP Morgan to buy more US treasuries and in lieu of that create more stablecoins. So this is one other option. That means if countries start dumping US treasuries, then the US has another place to go and sell its T-bills to. So that's the other thing that US is trying to do. Also, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, recognize assets, treat Bitcoin as a decentralized commodity and a strategic asset, allowing it to exist and be traded within established financial rules. So beyond that, the United States doesn't see much of a role for Bitcoin. However, remember I told you right at the beginning, if Europe and Great Britain both decide to issue CBDC, then what's going to happen is that they are going to be shutting down Bitcoin. So if you think of 5 pillars, United States, India, China, Russia and EU, one pillar is going to completely dump Bitcoin. It is possible that India might come up and say that it has its own CBDC. The digital rupee might be that. I'm not 100% sure. In that case, again, one more leg is broken as far as Bitcoin is concerned. So if I were holding a Bitcoin I would probably think hard and fast. Maybe now is a good time to get out. Just my suggestion. You don't have to take my word for it. I'm not a financial expert, but the way it is headed, my guess is that UK would be the first one to go down the CBDC route, because they've already announced that they are going to be doing something called as a digital ID. The digital ID might be something that they would use to create accounts for all its residents, so that they can start using centralized bank digital currency. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.